I still don't know how to do it from here, so it still won't give me that option.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Mhm. Okay, I can see it's on.
Okay. And
Do it from here, so
oh,
I'm
this
gonna
looks
come over
way
here.
different. Yeah, it looks, I'll say we're streaming.
Weird. I'm gonna turn my sound off on the phone.
Okay.
There we go. That way I can see the messages if they come
Do
through.
you hear background noise on your end?
I don't.
Okay, good. Okay, because Olivia's getting her hair blow dried in the other
Okay. Oh, and
room.
it has closed caption on there this time.
Oh, cool. Okay. So we're live. I'm gonna see if I can share.
Me too. Let me share it out. I still don't know how to do it. Caption on there this time.
Oh, cool.
I think I can just type.
So we're live. I'm gonna see if I can share.
Me too. Let me share it out.
Yeah, they're always changing things, which I mean, I guess it's a good thing, but you never know what to expect.
Right.
They're always changing things, which I mean, I guess it's a good thing, but you never know what to expect. Oh yeah, let me turn my sound off. So we're running into a lot of clients who don't have insurance outside of their job. They don't have policies that they own. So we want to discuss the importance of it, why it's so important.
Yes. Oh, it's not letting me share the correct way.
Oh, it's not.
Just to like businesses for some reason. I think I'll just tag her in, put her name in. There she is. Yeah, she can see it that way.
And then you also, they have like share to, and I guess the setup is different for every mobile device. But yeah, so I feel like people may not understand that they really don't even have a policy on their job.
Right. They forget. And honestly, until we delved into this, I didn't understand it completely myself. Like when you're on your job, you literally just have a certificate. You have no say so over the amount of coverage that you have. There may be a few companies that may, let you add additional coverage or whatever. But basically, most of the times, it's just one set amount is usually $10,000, and then you may have the accidental that you can have. You can also add on long-term insurance or short term, but that's it. And we don't think about like the average funeral will cost you about 10 grand. So then what legacy are you leaving for your family once that's taken care of? That's it. I mean, that's all you have.
That's all you have.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's just I don't think, in those, I guess I haven't been in an orientation in so long, for a job where, you're filling out your benefits and
Mhm.
you may see, I mean, it's like pennies, right?
Yeah.
Maybe $1, maybe $2. And then if you want, I remember there being a blank where you could check if you wanted to add like more coverage,
Hmm.
but it was either a little more expensive or it said that you would have to do labs or you have to fill out like a separate form.
Gotcha.
But what I've noticed in those days is that no one ever really explained it.
Right. Yeah, and they still don't explain it.
Okay.
I don't remember. I mean, once you get the job, of course, you go through your orientation, you set up your benefits package, but nobody sits with you and says, hey, this is what you have, XYZ. You have an option for this, and this. So it's just, you have your medical, you can choose those elections every year, but I haven't seen where you have an option to choose outside of that for your life insurance. So you
Right.
definitely need to have something outside of that. And like we always teach our clients, you need at least 10 times more than that. So think about if you're making $10,000, then you're definitely going to need at least $100,000 to cover those expenses. And think about if you have a child or multiple children. I love the fact that we always tell them, you want to make sure that you're leaving at least 10 years of yourself so that your family can then continue on being able to live the way that they did as if you were still here.
Exactly, exactly. Because I mean, it's sad when you think about it. Someone passes away and then they sell the home. They
Hmm.
may have to give up the cars, whatever activities the kids were in, they have to take them out because of the money that's
Yeah,
involved. So the peace of mind is just, it's worth owning the policy because at least then you know what you're paying for, you
yes.
know the amount that you need, and then you have someone that's sitting down with you and going over, what is our acronym that we use? Is it
The
is it
financial needs analysis.
yeah, when we do the death, education,
Hmm. Oh,
um,
dime.
dying,
Yeah.
thank you, death, um,
Income.
income,
Hmm.
mortgage, education,
Hmm.
debt.
And debt. Yes.
And those numbers are important because you don't want to just have like, now, don't get me wrong, I do have some clients who come and they're coming to purchase for an older relative and they're like, look, we just need enough to
Yeah.
put because the individual has waited for so long. So I mean, they're at that age where it's going to be so expensive.
Right.
And then you think about at certain ages, and you don't have to be sickly. You can believe God, live a healthy life, and then in your 60s, you're not taking any medication and you're not having to deal with any of that. But unfortunately, there's so many who are
Right. Yes.
dealing with health issues um, in that late stage of life, I guess you say. And so the only thing that they can afford is $10,000 or $15,000.
Right. And actually, I'm glad that you brought that up. Believe it or not, when I was to make an appointment, it just so happens a person had already, they had been with Primerica for years, but for some reason they didn't have coverage on her father, who is now 90 years old. And I didn't know what to I was like, I don't know, what to tell her at that point, to wait for 90 years old, because age is such a big factor. When you're trying to secure your insurance, you want to start as early as you can because it starts at that attaining age. So, I know I said her name, didn't I?
I don't think
I
so.
think
I
I
didn't hear a name.
but yeah, it was hard because most insurance companies will insure up to what age 70. Of course, if you're already insured, you can have that policy where you're and I'm sorry, the term slips my mind at the moment. Decreasing term where you can start to decrease the amount of premium that you have or the amount of coverage that you have. I'm sorry. But your premium's locked in. So still you could still have a substantial amount. Um, but if you're starting at such a late age, I don't know anyone that would cover and be able to give her what she needed at age 90. Yeah.
Right. And we do have something, but that's like a completely different boat
Yeah.
that we could discuss at a later date because it's different from what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the accidental death, I think some people don't realize that they have accidental death. That's
No,
it.
they don't. They'll say, "Oh, I'm covered," and they're paying like $8 to $10 a month, and you're like, "Wait a minute, you have what, $100,000 for $8 to $10 a month?" And they're not realizing that they have accidental death. And the shocking thing for me when I realized when we had the conversation about it, if the person deems it not to be an accident, then they don't have to pay the claim. That's
Right.
scary. That's really scary.
Very scary, because typically when you find out, it's way too late. Um, so it, it's kind of like false. What word am I trying to use? Your comfortability is not real because you're not realizing that you really don't have. And so the other thing too that I notice is people are saying, "Oh, I only pay like $10, $12 a month. And it's
Mhm.
like, well, you're in a group rate.
Right.
That's not customized to you and for your needs. Because
Right.
again, as we were saying, um, you may be paying like $1.83. I mean, it's always something weird, like $1 and some change or $2.10 per
Yeah.
period. And you don't, that amount isn't going to cover
Mhm.
everything that you have. So when
Right.
we're talking about life insurance as income protection,
Mhm.
if it's not at least 10 times your income, by
Yeah.
the time, and that's if that amount even covers the funeral, because funerals are expensive.
They're very expensive. I see we have a few questions. So the age is really a factor for insurance. It definitely is a factor because you have to think about it. The older you get, I mean, our bodies sometimes they begin to wear and tear. So, if God forbid, if you have any medical additions that attached to that age, then of course your coverage amount is going to go up. And in regards to the accidental death, it's not like false advertising. They just don't. Some people really don't understand the difference between accidental death and life insurance. Accident is just what it means, just what it says, accidental. So if something accidental happens to you, then then you're covered by the claim. Most of the time, I guess, within a car accident. But suppose you had a stroke or a heart attack in the midst of that causing the accident. Well, then they can deem that the heart attack was the actual cause for
Right.
the accident, and then choose not to pay the claim. So yeah, you want to make sure not only that you have coverage, but that you have the right one.
And then I have heard the stories where someone is on leave from their job,
Hmm.
and they may deny the claim because you weren't working. Like, think about someone who may be on a long-term leave, like FMLA or something like that,
Hmm.
and then someone passes away and they don't cover it because you weren't working.
Wow.
So I hate to say it, but sometimes some of these companies look for ways to deny the claim
Yeah.
opposed to customer service. Like, this person has been with us for all of these years,
Hmm.
and let's find a way to help.
Yeah.
You
That's
don't,
scary. It really is. So man, you really want to do just like Mars just said. Make sure you're in control of it. Man, I'm at a loss of words at that one.
right. And I've run across clients who were eager to get policies started because they know who we are.
Mhm.
And I had someone to call, and it's like, I always do my research. So after I met with you, I, made a few phone calls, and she was like, one of my girlfriends told me that a loved one had passed away and that you all treated them so good.
Wow.
And she could not say enough, how good your customer service were and how you paid the claim very quickly. And so that felt good. That felt
Yeah.
really.
That's awesome. Oh man, we also have Cheryl said that her grandmother paid 30 years on a $3,000 policy.
Oh my God, that's a ripoff. That's,
Yeah, yeah,
I am so sorry.
yeah. So I'm sure she had probably a whole life policy, didn't understand what she had and paid on that. And of course, yeah, they really got over on her for
Hmm.
paying for that small amount. And I could imagine what she had to pay even then for her grandmother. Um, yeah, that's I'm so, so sorry that happened.
Yeah, I would have been upset as well. And I hate to say it, but I just think that a while back, there was a time where in our communities, the elderly were preyed upon, and
Mhm.
they were ripped off for bad insurance, and it was expensive, and people are trying to do the right thing, and they paid a lot of money in for a very little bit of coverage. And it's unfortunate, which is why it's so important, and why I feel like we go live, and we do these different things to teach so people will know. But
Mhm.
I find that you have to be open to receive,
Yeah.
because how we do things, and we're taught to do a certain thing. We may have seen a certain thing. So sometimes it's kind of hard to break off
Yes.
from what we seen family members do. And, if we go against what their opinion is, it may feel like we're betraying them, but it's like, no, when we know better, we're supposed to do better.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's all we're doing. Trying to make the things a little bit better so that you can understand it better. Man, yeah, when you get knowledge about something, I mean, that's something that you definitely want to share, and to get it out to the masses, because for so long there's so much that we didn't know. So now that we have not only knowledge but the proper knowledge, we want to make sure that we're sharing it with everyone so that they
Absolutely.
can make better choices as well.
Right. And you mentioned the whole life. I did run across someone who has a $22 policy, a monthly premium. I apologize. And the policy, I think they said it was 250, which, that's a nice size policy for a young person.
Yes.
However, that policy is going to convert. So they're in their 30s, early 30s now. They were given like a 20-year policy. So that 20 years isn't even going to take them to retirement.
Oh no.
It doesn't even cover the kids.
Mm.
And that 20 some odd dollars, how is the insurance company making money? That
Right.
policy is going to convert. It's not going to stay that way. And so trying to explain without because how we may get on the defense because when we realize we've been had because we
Yeah.
didn't know. If
Didn't know.
you didn't know, it's not your fault that you didn't know. But sometimes that may be difficult with certain clients because it feels bad when
Yeah.
someone's saying, hey, look, let me show you something.
Right.
Kind of took advantage of you. This isn't a good policy. Like your children aren't covered
Yeah.
on the policy. It's a nice rate. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
22, but hey, I'll take it. But
Yeah. But what about
10,
your children?
what
Because you
about your
want them
children?
covered.
And
Yeah.
then 10 years from now, you're going to be paying probably 5 or 6, 7, 8 more times because they have to make money. How do they make their money if everyone gets a $22 a month policy for $250,000? They'll be bankrupt.
Yeah. And that's another important part. Make sure whoever you're dealing with explains all of those things to you. Like, what do those terms mean? I know we spent a significant amount of time just breaking down terms and different things on your sheet when you first get your insurance. See, a lot of us, again, I'm so glad we're having this topic to bring it back up. Open your packets up. Like, really go through and read your declaration page. I mean, your agent should be working for you. So if there's something that you don't understand, or if there's terms in there that you don't agree with, or you're not sure what they mean, ask the questions. I mean, almost over ask, because you want to make sure that you have the best policy, not only for you, but your family. And yes, your family, your children, they all need to be covered. Every single one of them. I mean, God forbid anything can happen, but you want to make sure that your family is covered 100%, no matter who they are. And I mean, man, what I love about ours is you, one child, covered with the first one. So we don't care if you have 1 or 10 or 20, you
Right.
know, they get covered for the one
Everyone's
price.
covered.
Yeah,
Yes.
everyone's covered, but it's so important. Just take a look at what you have. Even if you think that you have the best, it's always good to take a second look. It's always good to check in after a couple of years, even just to take a second look at what you have to make sure that the coverage that you do have is still beneficial to the family that you have now. Like, your family could have grown, things could have changed. You may need to change up on your investments, different things like that. But as your family is growing and changing, you need to take a second look. You may have started off with a smaller amount and are able to afford enough now to where you can cover that extra, that 10% that you need. So just always take a second look, guys. It just takes a second. And of course, if there's something that you don't understand, we would definitely love for you to reach out to us so we can help you kind of break everything down
Right.
and get a full understanding of what you have, because it really is a big deal. It
Mhm.
really is. Yeah.
It is. And the other thing too, I think about when I'm thinking about this client is that their investments portion. So it's So this whole thing about wealth and building wealth and learning how to build wealth and doing it a way that works in your favor. So we're not talking about get rich quick, but
Right.
you put your income protection in place through life insurance,
Hmm.
and then you start to invest your money. So
Yeah.
over the course of the term of your policy, your money is growing.
Yeah.
It's compounding so that on the other end, you're self-insured.
Yes.
Think a lot of people have difficulty wrapping their heads around being self-insured, and that's like that's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing to
Yeah.
be self-insured.
Hmm.
I think about things like to be self-insured means that not only do I have enough for my family,
Hmm.
but I have enough to leave for my children's family, and
Yes.
then I have enough to do things in my community. I think that's like a huge deal. So it isn't just life insurance.
Right.
It's life insurance, it's investments,
Hmm.
and what can you do with that? I mean, it's like it's a what was the right term? It's like this whole circle of
Yeah.
things that
It keeps
encompasses
revolving.
you
Yeah. It keeps
and
revolving. Yeah.
everyone else. And so when you think about community and legacy and 10 years, 15 years from now,
Yeah.
what your street will look like
Yeah.
if every household is doing these things, even if you can only save $25 a
Yeah.
month,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Just the little bit, it will go far because it's going to grow.
Yeah.
Money grows. So, yeah.
I think we should stay right there for a little bit because I think people have a misconception around that. Like they don't, like they hear us say that, but I don't think they really understand what that means. So of course you put your life insurance, your wealth, your protection in place, but some people think that you have to pay insurance for the rest of your life.
Right.
Like, and that's not what the goal is. That's not what we're geared towards. So yes, you do, you put your income protection in place through life insurance, but then you take a portion of that, right? And you set it aside. Like she said, you could start off with $25 by investing it so that that money grows. The goal is to eventually have enough money to where you no longer need to pay the life insurance because you have enough to cover. Because remember, life insurance is protection just in case, right? It's coverage to help if there's a loss. But if you have that coverage already in place, then you no longer need your life policy. And that's the goal that we want you guys to get to have enough money invested to where you're covered. Not only are you covered, but like she said, you're leaving a legacy, not only for your children, but your children's children and your children's children's children. That just sounds amazing to be able to do that. And guys, you can definitely do that. But it just takes you taking a little bit to plan out your money, plan out what you're doing. Actually look and see, like budgeting is such an amazing tool to see where your money's going, to see where you'll be able to cut back or shift, even just shift a little bit, shift your thinking towards, something over here, even if it's a cup of Starbucks coffee every day, right? Think about how much that adds up to at the end of the week. You could take that sum of money and actually invest it and have it growing, 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 growing. I remember the video we watched this morning about the parable, right?
That was good.
That
That
was
was really good.
powerful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I said, I definitely want to be the one that has the pipeline. I want my pipeline to be able to keep going and not to just to be
Right.
stuck right there at that bucket. So definitely, guys, you got to get your investments in there. That's where you're going to actually build. And it's building while you're literally doing nothing. It's just there, but it's building for you. And then that's where you're going to create your second, I like to say second generation of wealth
Right.
for your families. Got to start investing.
And then, teach the kids, teach
Mhm.
them, talk about life insurance, make sure they know where the policy is because
Yeah.
once, I mean, we've all experienced a loved one passing away, and it's like your brain is all over the place. You're trying to process, you're trying to, comfort yourself, you're trying to comfort other people, and you, it's just so much going on.
Yeah.
You need to know where these things are so it's overwhelming. Like, I mean, I've gone through it a few times and it's so overwhelming. So it's like when you know where it is,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of going in the file or the file cabinet, pulling it out. Everything is there. It's preparation. I mean, I know the topic can be dark. Some people were, I had a client whose sister was like, I need you to get with my sister and help her get herself together. Whenever I try to bring it up, she just shuts it down, doesn't want to talk about it because she sees it as talking about death, which technically, I mean, yeah, but it's not glamorous, not a glamorous point of conversation. But
did you hear me say stay in the house?
okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. Oh, I just had to have a son. Pray for me.
It's okay.
Pray for me. He's out there.
And I just told him 2 minutes ago, stay off the phone.
Yeah,
2 minutes.
yeah, he's a boy. He's
He's a
sick.
boy. I love
Parenthood and insurance on a Saturday. Look,
Yeah.
we'll be here next week. No, but anyway, so I forgot my train of thought, but oh, I know what it was. So the client, she doesn't like talking about it because it's like death, but eventually she contacted me. We set her up and, you know, she paid and everything. And then I remember her calling me and saying, hey, how do I pay my policy up for the year? I just want to go on and, you know, pay it for the year. And so that was just exciting because she went
Wow.
from not wanting to talk about it at all
Yeah.
to wanting to talk about it and, you know, excited about that increasing rider because she has kids. She has 3,
Awesome.
paying for 1. All
Yeah.
of them are free. The rest are free. And knowing that her, you know, because she's a single mom, so she's on a budget, you know, and just knowing that her coverage is going to keep increasing. She was really excited about that until the day she can call up and say, hey,
Yeah.
you know, bump that up. Because as Sandria, you were saying earlier about, you know, things change in life. So you want to keep checking back because the point is to be able to cover all of your assets, right?
Yeah.
So we're believing God for promotion and increase, right? We're not believing for just enough for us. That's selfish.
Right.
We got to have more than enough so we can give and
That's
invest
right.
in people, invest in organizations. So she was excited about that. It's just always good to see the light bulb go on. And I don't mean that no one was home or she wasn't smart. It isn't that. But
Yeah.
when someone starts to get it and they see the importance of it and they don't feel depressed when they talk about it, they get excited because it's like, I have protected my family.
Your family. Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. It's not about making a sale. It's not about any of that at all. It's just we have the opportunity, this amazing opportunity to make sure that families are protected. You know,
Mhm.
that families have wealth protection in place, that families are setting up investments, that they're creating something for their families that they didn't dream of doing before. I mean, who thought about that? You know, I know I didn't at one point in time. My train of thought was far away from having something like that, you know, or even investments. Me having investments, really? You know, it just wasn't thought of. But now, as your mind things, you know, changes, things start to you think differently, not only about your family, but about how, your money. You want it to continue to grow in a positive way that's going to be there to support your family and their dreams as well, because you know our kids are coming up, they have some dreams, they have some stuff that they want to do, and you want to make sure that you know you're able to support them whatever way that you can. So it's a great opportunity. um it's not just another bill. It's not just another bill. You are certainly securing your family for a lifetime, so we certainly enjoy being able to do that.
Right. And just talk about it, explain it, you
Yeah.
know, create a safe space. I had someone to say that, um, as a matter of fact, and I love referrals. So I had
Yes.
a brother and he got me in touch with his sister. And she had, she, you know what? She already had quotes from someone else. But what she told me was they didn't spend enough time with me. They didn't answer all my questions. I'm kind of confused about this. Then they sent home an application and told my husband to just fill this out. And she was like, but they did one for me. She said, but I thought that was weird. And, them giving me an application and telling him to fill it out. And she's like, he works a lot and I'm the one that kind of handles this type of thing. But when I say sit down, we were on a Zoom. And so it's like sitting down with her and we went over every point, every step. And I answered all her questions and I took my time. And she told me at the end, thank you so much because you made something uncomfortable comfortable. And I think one of the great things in working with us is that how we are right now, right here, that's how we are with our clients.
Yeah.
We are here to help, here to serve, and answer the questions because we once were in the same position.
Yeah.
So it's like when you've known what it's felt like, especially with investments. Oh my goodness, did I tell you how I went to, I'm not going to say the company name, I won't even do it. I went to one of the major companies to invest money. This has been 10 or 15 years ago.
Mhm.
And I was already a little nervous because I may have been in like my late 20s, mid to late 20s, something like that. So it's already like intimidating. And I go in there and, they weren't really rude with me, but they told me that I didn't make enough to pay them. So it wouldn't be, how did they phrase it? It wouldn't even be to my benefit because of the amount that they charge and I wasn't given any referral. Like, why don't you try this? It was just pretty much like, okay,
Wow.
get out,
You don't make enough to start with us, so bye.
so bye, get out.
Oh my gosh.
So I was trying to do something good,
Yeah.
something beneficial. And I think it was a long time before I ever tried that again, because I always felt like, I know saving money is something you're supposed to do, but the investments portion, I almost felt like it wasn't for me or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not wealthy, so
Yeah. And think
I'm
about how discouraging that is, though. I mean,
very
you could have given up right there. And it doesn't have to be, again, it's all about finding the right place, finding the right people, finding the right companies. You can start at $25 and you can increase and build with whatever what you, I mean, if you can come in with $25, you can come in with 1,600. It just
right.
depends on where you are.
Mhm.
So yes, guys, please don't be discouraged. Keep going. I mean, find what's right for you and make it happen for your family. Oh gosh, I'm glad you didn't stop.
Yeah, because I felt so little, like,
Man,
wow,
yeah,
I need to go look, I need to go be better and so I can invest my money. But yeah, that was just, it was it was intimidating already, because think about, it's information overload all the time in
yeah,
this day and age. So you finally get around to doing something that's responsible
yeah,
and to be turned away. But again, I like what we do, working with working class families. I mean, we work with working class families, we work with business owners, we work with people who, have businesses and they don't really work at all.
right,
So
at all.
yeah, we can service and help everyone,
Yeah,
which is awesome. But I do and am proud of the fact that we work with the working class.
yeah, yeah. So we're just talking about insurance today, guys. Knowing the difference between what you have and what you don't have, and helping you kind of get an understanding of why we need it and why sometimes your job's insurance is just not enough because it's a certificate. Like, you don't actually have a policy and think about it. It's a group policy. So of course you're getting the low rate, but you want to make sure that you have enough to cover everything and all the expenses and just in case you're not there. So thank you guys for joining us today. I'm trying to check in really quick to see if we have any questions there. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. She said she can vouch for both of us. We are very patient and knowledgeable. with what we have. So thank you for that. And her next goal is to set up her investments portfolio. Absolutely. Set it up. We'll definitely be here to help you get those things started.
Yes.
And to help you to choose the investments that are right for you. Thank you for that, Cheryl.
Appreciate her support.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're signing off.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you guys for joining
Have
us here on your busy Saturdays. We love to have you guys here. We love the audience. We're here because you're here. So thank you so much. See you guys next week, 4:30. No. Oh, it's the following week, the following Saturday. We'll see you guys right back here at 4:30. Thanks for tuning in.